Hey guys, thanks for stopping in and checking out LJ's Garage. So today we're going to be talking about the C8 Corvette. It's pretty cool to see nowadays that the American car manufacturers are going after their European rivals pretty hot and heavy. You've got $100,000 Lincolns running around, now you've got $100,000 potential Corvettes coming around. Times have kind of changed a little bit and it's awesome. I'm glad to see that the American cars are at the same level as their European rivals. But the question is, will they be able to surpass their rivals? What do you guys think? Let me start off by saying I'm a crazy Corvette fanatic. I love the Corvette. I think it's it is my favorite American car. Hands down, nothing else compares. I love the Corvette. Just looking at the spy photos that have been released, I'd buy one already. Actually, I'd give a kidney for one. All right, maybe not a kidney, so you guys stay away from those. Hopefully, it'll be revealed to us here in the summer of 19, hopefully earlier than that, maybe in like the May, springtime, hopefully around the May time, so then someone can pre-order one and give me one as a birthday gift. So the one thing we know for sure is it is gonna be mid-engine and it's gonna be a sports car. And honestly, that's about as much as we know for sure. There's a couple other things which we'll talk about, but right now, the car is kind of a mystery. The car has been seen with an automatic transmission of some sort. It could be a dual clutch. So we know that that's going to be an option, and dual clutch very likely, especially since we know the target cars that the Corvette C8 is going to be going after. Dual clutch makes a lot of sense. The one thing we don't know for sure is whether or not we're going to have a manual option. I'm hoping that Chevy sticks with the typical recipe and gives us that manual. The 7-speed that's in the C7 is awesome, and I'd hope that they do something similar, if not better, in the C8. I've read that there's a good chance that we'll get the Targa, the convertible, and then the coupe option. I'm hoping that there is a Targa. That one may be up in the air, but the Targa is my favorite. I've loved it on every Corvette that I've had the chance to have, I've been in that had a Targa, especially mine. I love that. In the summertime, I drive with the top off all the time. The goal for this car is to go after the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris, the Porsches, and for Corvette to take it from just being a budget-friendly sports car to something else. They want to step it up a notch, and this might be the Corvette that actually does it, but it's going to come at a price, a pretty steep price from what I'm hearing. For those of us that like to see the cup as half full, we're thinking that it'll be somewhere around the $70,000 starting point for a base model, but for those of us that like to see the cup half empty, it's looking like it's going to be more towards the $100,000, $150,000 price point. And I think it's going to end up being in that ballpark. I'm hoping not, but with all the technology and everything that you get, this car might actually end up there. As far as the engine goes, could be hybrid, it could be twin turbos, it could be a V8. We don't really know for sure. And from what I've gathered across the interwebs is that there may be a combination of some of those things, as well as a couple different engine options for the C8. That would be kind of cool, so you can kind of pick and choose where you want to land as far as price point and options and builds and stuff like that. It could get the 6.2 liter V8 that makes about 460 horsepower. That's not a bad option. Or it could even get the 4.2 liter V8 from the CT6 that makes 650 horsepower. That would be very nice. And it could even get the 5.5 liter twin turbo V8 that makes 850 horsepower. That would be awesome. And because we're in 2019 and hybrid technology is a real thing, don't rule out the fact that we might see an electric motor alongside the V8 that might even make this crazy C8 1,000 horsepower. That puts it up there with the Bugatti Veyron. If you're not excited yet, I'm not quite sure why, because this car is phenomenal. Well, I haven't met it yet, but it sounds amazing. It sounds like it's going to be better than the GT500 even. So it's going to be a real game changer for the Corvette. I think so, at least. Also, while looking around the interwebs, I found an interesting idea that there's a possibility that the C8 might be its own sort of high-end Corvette, and then they might keep the C7 around a little bit longer. The C7 is still kind of young in its lifespan, you could say. So there's a good chance that we might see a C7 still with the C8, and that would be kind of a first for the Corvette. And if you thought all the exciting news was over, we know what the key fob looks like. Thank you guys for checking out yet another episode of LJ's Garage. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below some of the exciting things about the C8 you've heard and some of the things you guys might be looking forward to. Stay tuned for more.